It's calling my name, flowing like a river. I'm winning the game. Millionaire money, it's wild and free. Everything I touch turns to luxury. Yeah. Whoa, la, 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 la. Whoa, la, 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 la. Whoa, la, 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 la. I'm planting ideas, they grow like a tree. Harvesting dreams that were planted by me. Confidence rise like a wave in my chest. I'm open to income, I'm giving my best. Expect it or not, it finds its way. Abundance is here, it's here to stay. Millionaire money,
Millionaire money.
Flowing like a river, I'm winning the game.
I'm winning the game.
Millionaire money,
Millionaire money.
it's wild and free.
Wild and free.
Everything I touch turns to luxury.
Luxury. Yes. 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 I'm definitely feeling that vibe. Amen. Yes. Hallelujah. I call it forth from the north, south, east, and the west. How y'all doing? I look a little different, don't I? Got some glasses. So we can finally get back to book club. We are on page 77 of The Compound Effect, Jumpstart Your Income, Your Life, and Your Success on page 77. Now, y'all might hear my husband coming in because he went out to go get something to drink. So we'll see if you hear the door. Page 77, Game Changers, 5 strategies for eliminating bad habits. 5 strategies for eliminating bad habits. Your habits are learned, therefore they can be unlearned. If you want to sell your life in a new direction, you have to first pick up the anchors of bad habits that have been weighing you down. The key is to make your why power so strong that it overwhelms your urges for instant gratification. And for that, you need a new game plan. New. Somebody drop new in the comments. The following are my all-time favorite game changers. Number 1, identify your triggers. Make a list of bad habits. For each one you've written down, identify what triggers it. Figure out what I call the big 4s. The who, the what, the where, and the when underlining each bad behavior. So who is underlining that bad behavior? What is underlining that bad behavior? Where did that bad behavior come from? And when did you notice that bad behavior? Where did it start? Are you more likely to drink too much when you're with certain people? As an example. Is there a particular time of day when you just have to have something sweet? What emotions tend to provoke your worst habits? Stress, fatigue, anger, nervousness, boredom? When do you experience those emotions? Who are you with? Where are you? And what are you doing? What situations prompt your bad habits to surface? Getting in your car, the time before performance reviews, visits with your in-laws, conferences, social settings, feeling physically insecure, deadlines. Take a closer look at your routine. What do you typically say when you wake up, when you're on a coffee or even a lunch break, when you've gotten home from a long day? Get out your notebook and use the Bad Habit Killer worksheet. You can download it for free at thecompoundeffect.com/free. Write down your triggers. The simple action alone increases your awareness exponentially. But of course, this isn't the whole enchilada, because as we've discussed, increasing your awareness of a bad habit isn't enough to break it. So increasing the awareness isn't the full battle. Number 2, clean house. Get to scrubbing, and I mean this literally and figuratively. If you want to stop drinking alcohol, remove every drop of it from your house and your vacation house if you have one. Get rid of the glasses, any fancy utensils or doodads you use when you drink, and those decorative olives too. If you want to stop drinking coffee, heave the coffee maker, donate it. Give that bag of gourmet grounds to a sleepy neighbor. If you're trying to curb your spending, take an evening and cancel every catalog or retail offer that flies in through your mailbox or your inbox. so you won't even need to muster the discipline to walk it from the front door to the recycle bin or trash. If you want to eat more healthy, clean your cupboards of all the crap. Stop buying the junk food and stop buying into the argument that it's not fair to deny other people in your family junk food just because you don't want it in your life. Trust me, everyone in your family is better off without it. Don't bring it into the house, period. Get rid of whatever enables your bad habit. Number 3, swap it. Look again at your list of bad habits. How can you alter them so that they're not as harmful? Can you replace them with healthier habits or drop kick them altogether? For an example, I was talking to a lady this week. She has a bad habit. It's what she considered a bad habit of chewing ice. And it was a bad habit because it was starting to make her teeth jagged. In replace of that, she's going to start chewing sugar-free gum. So that's an example. Can you replace a healthy habit or drop it altogether? As in for good. Anyone who knows me knows that I love something sweet after a meal. If there's ice cream in the house, the something sweet turns into a triple scoop banana split with all the fixings, 1,255 calories. Instead, I replace that bad habit with 2 Hershey Kisses, 50 calories. I'm still able to satisfy the sweet tooth without having to spend the extra hour on the treadmill just to get back to even. My sister-in-law started a habit of eating crunchy and salty junk food when she watched TV. She'd crunch through a whole bag of tortilla chips with little actual awareness. Then she realized that what she really enjoyed was the crunchy sensation in her mouth. She decided to replace her bad habit with crunching on carrots and celery sticks and raw broccoli spears. She got the same joyful sensation and her FDA recommended vegetable servings at the same time. Guy used to work for me, had a bad habit drinking 8 to 10 Diet Cokes a day. That's the bad habit. I suggested he replace them with low sodium carbonated water, adding fresh lemon, lime, or oranges. He did this for about a month before realizing he didn't need the carbonation at all and switched to just plain water. Play with this and see what behaviors you can replace, delete, or swap. Number 4, ease in. I live near the Pacific Ocean. Whenever I get in the water, I get my ankles acclimated first and walking up to my knees. Then it's my waist and chest before taking the plunge. Some people just run and dive in and get it over with. Good for them, not me. I like to ease my way in. Probably residual trauma from my childhood, as you'll see in the next strategy. For some of your long-standing and deep-rooted habits, it may be more effective to take small steps to ease into unwinding them. You may have spent decades repeating, cementing, and fortifying these habits. So it can be wise to give yourself some time to unravel them one step at a time. A few years ago, my wife's doctor required she cut out caffeine from her diet for several months. I'll say that one really loud for somebody who just walked through the door. She cut out caffeine for several months. We both love our coffee, so if she was going to have to suffer, I decided it was only fair that we do it together. We first went 50-50, 50% decaffeinated, 50% regular for a week, then 100% decaf for another week, then early grade decaf tea for a week, followed by decaf green tea. It took us a month to get there, but we didn't suffer even a moment of caffeine withdrawals. No headaches, no sleepiness, no brain fog, no nothing. However, if we had gone cold turkey, well, I shiver at the thought. Number 5, or jump in. Not everyone is wired the same way, but some can jump in. Some researchers have found that it can be paradoxically easier for people to make lifestyle changes if they change a great many bad habits at once. For example, pioneering cardiologist Dr. Dean Ornish found he could reverse people's advanced heart disease without medication or surgery with dramatic life changes. He discovered they often found it easier to say goodbye to almost all their bad habits at once. He enrolled them in a training session where he substituted a very low-fat diet for their fat and cholesterol-rich fare. The program included exercise, getting them off their couches and walking or jogging, as well as stress reduction techniques and other heart-healthy habits. Amazingly, in less than a month, these patients learned to let go of a lifetime of bad habits and embrace new ones. And they went on to experience dramatic health benefits after a year as a result. Personally, I find this to be the exception, not the rule, but you'll have to figure out the strategy that works best for you. When I was a kid, my family camped at a little known spot called Lake Rollins. The lake's situated not far from the Sierras in North California. It's fed from glaciers that melt from atop the mountain of Lake Tahoe. The water is ridiculously cold. Every day we were there, my dad insisted that I water ski in the polar pond. All day I would be quietly anxious about the dreaded call to go in. I love to water ski. I just hate getting in the water. A slight conflict of interest because, of course, there was no separating one from the other. Dad made sure that I never missed my turn, sometimes by actually physically throwing me in. After a dozen or so excruciating seconds of near hypothermia, I always found the water refreshing and rejuvenating. My anticipation of getting in the water was actually worse than the reality of just jumping in. Once my body acclimated, water skiing was a blast, and yet I went through this cycle of dread and relief each and every time. That experience isn't unlike that of suddenly dropping or changing a bad habit. For a short while, it can feel excruciating, or at least quite uncomfortable. But just as the body adjusts to a changing environment through a process called homeostasis, we have a similar homeostatic ability to adjust to unfamiliar behavior changes. And usually we can regulate ourselves psychologically and physiologically to the new circumstances quite quickly. Sometimes waiting in just won't do. Sometimes you really do have to jump in. I want you to ask yourself now, where can I start slow and hold myself accountable? And where do I need to take that bigger leap? Where have I been avoiding pain or discomfort when I know deep down that I'll adapt in no time if I just go for it? One of my former partners has a brother who was a beer guzzling, bar brawling, life of the party alcoholic. He drank at lunch, drank with dinner, drank after dinner, and all weekend long. One day he was at a wedding for a former college roommate when he saw his friend's brother, who was 10 years older than both of them, but looked 10 years younger. He watched the man dance, laugh, and play during the wedding, exuding a vitality he hadn't felt in many years watching. He made a decision on the spot that he would never touch a drop of alcohol again. Cold turkey. That was it. Never again. And he hasn't in more than 6 years. When it comes to changing bad habits at home, I'm a toe dipper. But in my professional life, I find that taking the big plunge is far more effective. Whether committing to a new business or dealing with potential new clients, partners, or investors, toe dipping usually doesn't cut it. Each time I think of Lake Rollins and know it would be painful at first, but I remember that within a little time, it would be exhilarating and well worth the temporary discomfort. That was good. That was real, real good. I think we're going to stop right there. That was good. Y'all need to marinate on that. So the game changers, 5 strategies for eliminating bad habits. 1 was identify your triggers. 2 was clean house. 3 was swap it. 4 was ease in. Or 5, jump in. So you pick which one works for you, for what you're doing, where you're trying to go. I'm Dr. J. You have an amazing day, and we're going to pick up next time on page 83. Y'all take care.